So guys, is this the first time you've come to an event like the Expo?
Well, we've been to Comic-Con.
We went to Comic-Con. We went to Comic-Con the very first season that we did this, so that was 2 years ago.
Right.
And then
last summer we were there.
We were Comic-Con again, and then we were in Atlanta in Dragon Con. Not all of us. We all go to different events. Comic-Con we all go to, though.
Yeah. And Brian Cooney brought us all here for this one.
I know Allison, who plays Claudia, and Eddie McClintock and Joanne Kelly came here last year. I was unable to. So this is my first year to this London Expo. Yeah.
It's great. We're having a great time.
Yeah, it's really cool.
When you're working on the show, developing script-wise, how do your team as writers think up these ideas for the show?
Well, it's always the hardest question to ask. How do you think up the ideas? You just start thinking about the characters and what's interesting for the characters to go through, and what kind of experiences you want to write about the characters, and then the artifacts sort of come up. You think of things in the moment. We rarely think of an artifact first and then the story. It's usually what kind of a world would be fun to put them in, like the world of fashion, a college wrestling team. It's just we just sit around and think of ideas. It's kind of hard to answer. How do you think of ideas? It's sort of like asking an artist how he comes up with what he's going to paint. It just sort of happens. You let your imagination go in the writer's room.
And as an actor, when you read these scripts and there's such amazing things going on, how do you approach it? Because obviously some of this stuff has to be put in later in post-production. How do you work at imagining it?
We call it schmacting.
Schmacting.
Schmacting is when you have to act in front of a green screen. Facting is when you have a lot of exposition to say. So, and they give me a lot of it, and you have to figure it out. Artifacting. Look, it's a game that children play, and most of us try to get back to the innocence of being children, and so that you can let your imagination go. And the other part of it is, you got to be able to fall flat on your ass. You can't, like anybody who's doing this kind of stuff, whether you're doing this, you only learn by failing and then getting up again and saying, I could have done that better, and I know what I'll do next time. And yeah, sometimes you have to shorten the distance of how quickly you better get up. But
that was the thing at Juilliard. They always used to say to us, "Don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to. You failed. And
you're out.
Out. You're done. Wait a minute.
You said don't be afraid. Yeah, but not like that.
Not like that. You failed. That's what no. Exactly.
At this event, obviously, you get to meet the fans face to face, and obviously at Comic-Con you do, and so forth. What's it like being able to actually interact with the fans directly?
It's great. I mean, we're in a world that's completely different from what it was 20 years ago for actors. I mean, the fans are interactive. They talk to each other. They become ambassadors for the show. There's different platforms that they're able to go to. Hopefully, eventually, there'll be a comic book of Warehouse 13. There might be webisodes. There's certainly places to go even now on the internet. There's a way to discover the universe of Warehouse 13 beyond just the show. And these are all platforms that are a new thing for the entertainment business, for features, for books, for every form of entertainment. And the integral part of it is the interaction of the fans. And once the fans realize that they have an effect on the show, then it's explosive for a series, certainly.
Positive effect. I will say that the fans that write negative things, I don't read them. I shut down. Anybody that's got anything negative to say about the show, I shut down. Because honestly, I have a studio and a network and producers giving me enough notes.
And actors occasionally.
And I don't need notes from all quarters. So when somebody says, "Oh, I hate this," or "I want to see this," and because this sucks, and you know what, I don't read it. Goodbye.
I don't mind, and I'm told about it, and some of it's really kind of mean-spirited, but very often I find even some of the negative stuff, if it's not mean-spirited, it's just people excited saying this didn't make sense to me, and then other fans will yell at them and say, what the hell do you know? But they all become people invested in what we're doing. And one of the great things about this particular show is that it was designed to be watched by a family together. It doesn't have to be, obviously, and not everybody does it. But
there's something for everybody.
There's something for everybody without watering it down. So it works on and I'm proud of that. Mm-hmm. I'm proud of the fact that it's a family show where the violence is kept at a minimum and mostly off stage.